I hope you'll have questions because I should like to be able to answer them. But I shall tell you one which I always get, particularly for the young people. I'm always asked, almost in every school I have ever spoken, what was it like for you, a Holocaust survivor, to be standing in Hollywood and holding an Oscar in your hands? Wow. It was very nice. It was a little better than nice, but it was not the greatest moment of my life. The greatest moments of my life was the moment of freedom and meeting my husband, of coming to this country, and my children and grandchildren were born. Those were the sacred moments of my life. In Hollywood, it was a little bit different. I looked at an audience, as I'm looking at you now, comprised of the probably most prominent and famous people in the world. I saw the young, beautiful starlet. You read in the papers the description of the incredible gowns, of the priceless jewelry, of what have you. I also saw them crying in the ladies' room. They were crying because they didn't win. What didn't they win? This lovely figurine, it looks beautiful, particularly in the sunlight. It's all golden. But you know what? It's very cold. It doesn't talk to me when I'm lonely. The embraces of my grandchildren are tender and warm. What was I thinking when I stood there? My thoughts were far away. I remembered standing in a long, never-ending, seemingly line on the death march, holding a battered, rusty bowl in my hand. I remember the cold, the wind, the loneliness, and the hunger. And when I got to the beginning of the line, if there was enough food left in the kettle, or if by some miracle the ladle went deeper and brought forth a potato, I was a winner. I don't want my grandchildren to live in a world where a potato is more valuable than an Oscar. But I don't want to be in a world in which an Oscar is so important that we forget that some people still do not have a potato. As we were sitting down to dinner tonight, 35 million Americans, that's right, 35 million Americans are going to bed hungry, and millions of people all over the world. With our bounty, with our harvests, with your hearts and your agile brains, you can make it possible that no child should go hungry to bed tonight. I've been asked again and again, what made you go on? All I can tell you, everyone went on if they had an opportunity. Everybody went on, no matter what horror, no matter what pain, no matter what hunger, no matter what cold, everybody wanted to live. And my own memory was when things were really bad, and they were bad quite often. I used to take something out of the very recesses of my heart. It was a picture of an evening at home. The living room of my childhood, my father smoking his pipe, reading the evening paper, my mother working at her needlepoint, my brother and I doing our homework. And I stood struck by the enormity of the thought that those were the evenings I took totally for granted. I called them a boring evening at home. to have one more evening at home with my family, I was ready to enjoy everything. Unfortunately, I never saw any member of my family again. But I was blessed with many evenings at home with my beloved husband, with our children, our grandchildren, many friends, some present here. So I have one message for you. When you go home tonight, approach your homes slowly and then stop. Look at your home and your lives through the eyes of a stranger, a hungry, homeless stranger. And through the eyes of the stranger, see what your homes and your lives contain. Don't search for something that might be missing, because there's something bound to be missing from every life. Just see what is there. And from the blessed understanding of the certainty which we share, ask yourself the most important question. Why am I so lucky? Why am I so blessed? Through you being here and doing what I know you all have done, you have given an eloquent answer. For that I thank you with all my heart, and hope that all your evenings at home, the body ones, be blessed with good health, with joy, and with peace. Thank you very much.
Well, Gerda, as always, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And I hope you don't mind. I'd actually like to ask the first question, because this is the third or fourth time that we've been together addressing schools, and there's one question that we got. I think it was probably the last time we did this, and it still just kind of resonates with me. It was from an 11-year-old in New Jersey. I think it was it might have been Hoboken, New Jersey, and he asked us. Actually, he asked you. At the end of your memoir, All But My Life, it ends with your liberation. If you were to add an epilogue to that book, what would you add?
I've added the golden years of having been in this country, all the opportunities that have been given to me, and above all, the opportunity to speak to young people, to tell them of the greatness of lives that they have in freedom. And I feel particularly blessed to have special people, as I've mentioned, Beth and Nancy, who have fulfilled my dreams in bringing the message of an understanding of what we have, not what is missing, and the incredible opportunities that can be ours. And above all, as I mentioned, the hope, and I know I'm never going to have it, not at my age, to go to bed one night and to feel that no child will go hungry to bed. I think you wanted to say more, and I know that we could enlarge upon it, because you have been so kind to bring this question back to me. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And now, folks, we are going to take questions from our sites connected around the country. As I mentioned before, we do have about 13 sites connected, and we're going to go in alphabetical order. So let me just grab my list here. We're going to start with Auburn University. Auburn, if you could unmute your microphone and ask your question, please.
It's been such a pleasure to hear from you tonight. Our question is, how do you feel about reparations for victims of the Holocaust?
How do you feel